everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. We are back here in our LCMC Health Wellness Lounge. We are talking about our next topic now. Okay, do you ever find yourself heading to the refrigerator because you're upset or stressed out? Well, it may be because you're emotionally overeating. Our next guest is here to talk about why we are doing it and how to stop doing it. Please help me welcome Dr. Lindsay Poe from the University Medical Center. Welcome, darling.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Everybody's wearing red today. I love it so much. Thank you so much for being here because I am a victim of this right here, especially when I'm upset. And I want to ask you, when we're upset, when we're stressed out, why do we often turn to food?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that food is a comfort. Food is really important for many people in their traditions, in their lives, as well as in our city in New Orleans and in Louisiana. It's a really important part of our culture and celebration. So we turn to food because it comforts us.
It's so true, and it tastes so good. My goodness, my weakness is gummy bears. Anytime I'm feeling bad, I always reach for the gummy bears. And I always wonder, is it a problem or it's just because it's something that I go to because it makes me feel better? How do we recognize when it's emotionally overeating and that it's a problem?
Absolutely. It's a common phenomenon. Many people emotionally eat at times, and you can do it when you're feeling stressed out or overwhelmed. Boredom eating is incredibly common, as well as happy eating. Again, it's an important comfort for people. When it becomes a problem is if you're relying on it really consistently and frequently.
So true. And she's a psychologist, everybody. I want to ask you, how can emotionally overeating affect our health?
So there's a lot of health risks with it. If you're engaging in overeating frequently, it can lead to weight gain. And with that, then you're at higher risk for developing obesity, certain types of cancer, cardiovascular risks, as well as diabetes and high blood pressure.
Ooh, the list goes on, everybody. You all are seeing it on your screen right there. Now let's talk about how to stop it, right? What are some ways we can stop emotionally overeating?
Yeah, there's a number of strategies you can use. One of them, I think the most important one, is recognizing when it's happening. Because I think a lot of times people do it and they don't notice that, man, when I'm bored at home, I'm sitting and watching TV and I go grab those chips or those gummy bears.
Right.
So catching yourself doing it, and one way you can do that is by keeping a food journal or a mood log. And as you track your food throughout the day, also keep track of what your mood is. And then over time, you might be able to recognize certain patterns or certain types of foods that are of a particular comfort for you.
So when it comes to filling out that mood log or that food journal, we should write down, I had, a breakfast bar at this time and I was feeling this mood?
Yeah, that can be helpful. Or you can reflect at the end of your day, like what was your overall day like? Did you have a lot of stress today? You gave a big presentation at work, and kind of reflecting on what was going on in your day that might have contributed to your eating.
It is so true, everybody. And there's some more other great ones. Okay, mindful eating. I really want to dive into this topic. One mindful eating technique you suggest is to put your utensil down in between eating. I never do that. Once the fork or spoon is in my hand, it's not leaving. Why should we use that as a practice?
I think the goal of that would be to slow yourself down. A lot of times when you're not mindful about your eating, you're eating really quickly and you kind of devour your food in 5 minutes, and then your brain hasn't, or your stomach hasn't caught up to your brain yet to tell you, hey, I'm full. I don't need to eat anymore. So by putting your utensil down between each bite, you can be slower and more purposeful about your eating.
I'm going to practice that with lunch today. I can't wait to try that. Another tip you suggest is to eat while seated, like we are right now. Why should we do that?
Yeah, so it's eating distraction free. So, eating at a table if you have one, and then focusing on your plate and on your food will help you be more in touch with those hunger cues. If you're eating while you're on the go, you're just not paying attention to it. Or if you're even eating while you're watching TV, you're watching the TV, not what your hunger is telling you.
And we shouldn't necessarily be eating to get full, right? Or should we be eating to say, I feel super full, I can't eat no more? Is that the goal?
I don't think you want to feel overly full. You want to feel satisfied and satiated, that you want to feel just enough that you don't need more.
I'm doing it all. I'm telling you, I'm trying that today, everybody. You also suggest finding another interest to kind of distract yourself from reaching for the gummy bears, or I don't know what your favorite guilty pleasure food is. What is your favorite?
Salty.
Salty. Anything salty, absolutely. What are some other things we should focus on, some other interests?
Absolutely. I think finding other ways of coping, other pleasurable activities, so exercise, walking. Meditation can be really helpful, or reaching out to talk to your support system in those times.
And you know, sometimes there is medically something going wrong, right? How can a professional help if somebody feels like they're emotionally overeating?
Yeah, after you have tried maybe some of these strategies, if it's not working, or if you find yourself engaging in that overeating more frequently, it can be a sign of some underlying mental health conditions like depression or anxiety, binge eating disorder. So that's when reaching out to a medical professional. There may be some medications that they can prescribe, or forms of therapy like cognitive behavioral therapy to address it.
There's some help available, everybody, both personally and professionally. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Poe,
you
for joining us this morning in our LCMC Health Wellness Lounge. Look, if you all want more information about this topic, you're seeing all the information on your screen. Log on to umcno.org or find them on social media at UMCNO. All right, stick with us, everybody. A lot more to come on Great Day when we come back. Don't move.